Well, I should have spent more time talking about expectations of crossing from one valley to the next. We were on a southern eastern exposure, and now we're northwest. The mountain is different. Obviously, the way it was forced out of the ground is going to give different angles. This is the steep side. And I mean, it's beautiful with the sun rays, but this is this is a bit more rugged. The other hike, I mean, it was uphill the whole way, but it was just sort of easy peasy. This reminds me of I'll remember the book name, but I'm trying to remember a book that had 1500s, 1600s with wolves and bears still in the Alps. Kind of a scary time to be walking around, and this kind of reminds me of that. Again, there are no wolves or bears in the Alps. Occasionally they'll get one that wanders up from the Caucasus, from Croatia area, and then if it does cross the singular bear, it's tracked on the news, and so the news starts off with, hey, the bear is right here today, or last spotted right here. So everybody kind of is in the know if there's a bear around. Oof. Well, if you're looking at the path straight on and it looks strange, like it's at an angle, it's because it is in fact at an angle. This camera does a fairly decent job of getting the proper angles. Yeah, it's a long way down if you slip. Hey, so I'm 3 hours in, really only 2.5 because I spent a half hour in town. Good news, bad news. The good news is right across there is Mosogno. That is where I'm trying to go, and if you can see down at the bottom in the river there, that I think is called Casa de Mosogno, which may be the local castle. It seems pretty low to be a castle though. The highway across is the highway the bus goes on, so that's where I got to get. That's all the good news. The bad news is it's way down there. So I have at least, I'm going to say, an hour and a half ahead of me. So I'm going to get into my local cheese here. This is what it looks like. There's some holes in there. The skin is, boy, it is just a furry, leathery skin. All right, here we go. Wow. Medium cheese, medium hardness. It tastes a lot of milk. It's pretty smooth. Wow. I think most of the medium cheeses around here are going to be pretty mild. I haven't gotten to any of the harder cheeses, which is actually kind of surprising, because it's this is where a lot of the harder cheeses come from. Had a great dinner last night. Found a little grotto. Apparently has been open for a couple of decades. That is family style, and there's no menus, fixed price. Everybody eats. They have informal seating, so they'll sit people at a table, and that table will all get kind of served. And so we started off with a salami and then a salad, tomato, garlic salad. And we waited a while and had a pasta shell with such a beautiful light coating of tomato sauce. And they came around literally, and the guy's just serving out of a big bowl on everybody's plate. And they, all the Parmesan cheese, just literally had just a big bag of cheese, or just, you know, soup spoon out of a big bag of cheese on everybody's plate. That was fantastic. And then they had a polenta with a mushroom meat and sauce. That was great. Then you finish with a little slice of cake with cherry jam or a cheese platter. Of course, I took the cheese platter. 4 different kinds of cheeses. All mediums like this. Totally different in flavor. And then they brought out limoncello, the basic, you know, clear alcohol. And then like a hazelnut. And honor system, how many drinks you have of that. It was just wonderful. We sat and had a conversation with the people next to us, and I hadn't done that in a year and a half. And it doesn't happen here in Switzerland. You know, people don't kind of start talking to each other. But we met a nice couple from northern Switzerland and talked mostly German. And I was able to like listen to much of it. And that kind of made me happy. So I felt like I participated a little bit. And then we left and we all got gelato, and just a fantastic experience. So this cheese here reminds me, that's how I got on that topic. The cheese reminds me of the cheese from last night's dinner. Nervous about making sure I get that bus. There's a lot of distance still to go. So I gotta go.